What is control? Let me explain this to you with the help of a small example. When we get a dam constructed, the objective is to generate electricity with the help of water flow, river flow. Here in this activity itself, we need to have control systems in place in order to monitor and regulate the rate of water flow, such that during rainy seasons when there is excessive flow of water, the electricity generation activity stays uninterrupted. So the floodgates are examples of control systems put in place at various points in order to regulate the flow of water. Herein, the objective of constant electricity generation is satisfied. Similarly, in an organization, there are various set of activities which occur with an intention to achieve predetermined goals, and control systems are placed at various points in order to identify intentional and non-intentional errors that may occur. So, control ensures that right things happen in the right way at the right time. Controls can be of two types, basically preventive or detective. Preventive, yes, before the action has to happen, there can be certain control systems in place, for example, having authorization, maker-checker system, etc. Detective would be after the activity has been conducted, there could be some MIS reporting or a reporting system which can help in detecting the errors which may have happened in the activity. We'll have a detailed analysis of controls in the coming chapters. Definition of control. In the words of Coates and O'Donnell, controlling is measuring and correcting of activities of subordinates to ensure that events conform to plans. Features of managerial control. Managerial control, as the name suggests, it's a managerial activity and therefore it's a managerial function. If you remember, we discussed about an acronym POSTCOG which had C standing for control functions. The control is one of the functions of management which is entrusted to a manager along with authority and responsibility to execute control operations. It's a continuing process. It involves constant analysis of various objectives, policies, procedures and plans in action and performance standards. All pervasive. Control is required at all levels of an organization, it be a top level, middle level or the bottom level. It's dynamic as every organization is working in an ever-changing environment. The control systems also need to be dynamic enough to adjust to the changing situations. It is a kind of a corrective action. The control system is not merely to assess the gap, but to exercise remedies in order to bridge the gap. Requisites for effective control. A control should reflect the plans. Unless and until the plans are not reflected in the control systems, what is it that we are going to assess with? The control process should be clearly understood by the person so that he can identify what exactly he has to measure and compare and assess and evaluate the corrective actions for. Control measures should be cost effective because in itself, when a control system or a control operation is implemented, it is consuming resources, energy and time of an organization. So in itself, the system should be cost effective. Control should be able to identify exceptions so that wherever there are gaps and the gaps are genuine enough because of certain situations or consequences or occurrences or events, the gap should not be deliberately made to meet with the plans. At times, it is also required that maybe the plans laid were not that realistic and control made you realize that and you need to work on the plans as well. Control system should provide precise information. Importance of managerial control. Managerial control helps in achievement of objectives which are laid at the level of planning activity. It is control that ensures that actions conform to those plans. It helps to every planning function. As we just read, control is an all-pervasive function and is present at all levels. It helps to every plan function. Brings order and discipline in line. Since it is an authoritative position and an authoritative activity, it brings in discipline and order. Facilitates this decentralization of authority, promotes coordination and prepares the organization to cope with uncertainty.